welcome, Deb. And thank you, Shirley, for coming on. Nice to see you again. So I think before I get into my little lesson, I want to make sure that I answer any of your questions. So if anybody has come on because you have something brewing in your mind and you're a new user to Positive Prime, or even if you're not, but something new has come into your thinking about it, I would love to hear what you have in mind. Anybody have anything that's been stewing over or wanting a little bit of clarity around? Nobody? You just want to learn from me tonight? Okay. All right, Mary Lee, what do you have on your mind?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, I've always been curious about this, and I'm glad you're here, Patty, because I think you could speak to this. What goes on for you when you're putting these together? When you're putting your session together, what goes on? Because, I don't know anything about like what people are feeling or how they put these things together.
So what's behind the scenes of a session creating and who is behind it, et cetera, why they put together what they do?
Yeah, how are you feeling? Yeah, I want to know more of the intuitive side of how you're putting the thing together.
That's a great question. And it also fits very well with Mayumi, who is my teammate tonight, and all of you are familiar with her. And she works with the team that actually does the picture selection and creates those beautiful templates that we use for each of the 200 statements. So she does that. And what I would say, and she's put in the chat, is from an author's perspective. So I have a session. It was one that I've done about 5 or 6 years ago. And I've since learned so much about Positive Prime. So I would love to actually do another session, though I love the one I did, still happy with it. It's called Powered by You. It was called The Mosaic Effect. But what goes into it is usually the people who are creating sessions have a message. They have something that they want to put out. It could be their message because they're experts in a certain field. It could be because they've written a book. It could be because they're an influencer in a key area. Could be for any number of reasons. It could be famous or unknown, but you have a message, and your message is then reflected in the statements that you choose. So 200 statements are chosen. That's a fixed number. And everything is formulaic in a Positive Prime session. So there are 1,000 images and 200 statements in a Positive Prime session. And that is because it needs that kind of flooding into your mind in order to have the effect that has been researched to be needed. So that is a fixed amount. And then as you, the author, the creator of the session, consider what to write. There is also a format for the statements. Excuse me, they could be I am or you are statements. They can be simple words like thank you. But they're things that have meaning to you and are affirmations or afformations. They could be a question. How is the world so beautiful? It could just be thank you, thank you, thank you. It could be the many things that you've seen on the screen when you've looked at different sessions. And Shirley Wimberly is here tonight, and she has a couple of sessions on the platform. And one of her sessions, I don't want to speak for you, Shirley, because you are here, but I love the one session that you did, which is for your business. So people can do things very creatively. So she has her passionate message for her coaching, and then she has a session about city markets. She runs a market, owns and runs a market in Alaska. And the session is amazingly uplifting about, supporting the people who work in that store and live in that community, essentially. Shirley, do you have anything else to say? So I'm not your words and voice here.
Actually, you did a good job. Yeah, the city market is, of course, a private one, so it's not right on the platform.
That's true. I see it, but everyone does.
Yeah, you get, you're privileged. It is a beautiful session. I really love that session. But when it was all put together for both sessions, I mean, they both came out really well.
Right, but you were the creator of each one of those words, and
Right.
you generally guided the team, Mayumi's team,
Right.
in the types of images that would create the experience and the message fully that you wanted to put out.
Right. I mean, they make it very easy because the template that you get, they ask you what kind of pictures and, all this, what you do really want, what you want most of, what you don't want too much of, things like that. So you really, get to tell them what kind of pictures you want. You can add your own pictures. I added some of my own pictures, and then they ask you for your 200 statements, positive statements, and they find beautiful backgrounds, and they let you, look at it before it's all put together and say, actually there was one statement background I really didn't think would go, so I told them, and they came up with something else, and it made it very easy to do. They do a wonderful job of curating and putting things together.
Yeah, and that I like the word you said at the very end. They are very curated. They are the emotions and the energy and the message and the feelings of the author, but they are curated to meet these many different elements that make it work and that make
Right.
it very different than something that you can just create on the fly on your own computer with
Yeah.
a bunch of pictures. Not the same. So I don't know, did that answer your question, Mary Lee?
Yeah, I just was curious because, I know all different kinds of people make these for us, and, I just was curious about it.
Yeah, hey, it's a really great session. It's always lovely to know sort of what's going on behind the scenes. And if you decide you want to be a creator of a session, you have that opportunity. You can get an a la carte session, or you can also join the Positive Prime Leaders program and go through our training, and then a session is included with that. So you have a couple of different ways that you could put your voice out there through a Positive Prime session. We love that, because no two are alike, even though it seems like, gosh, they ought to be. I'm always floored that there's something new in everybody's session that hasn't been put together the same way before. And you, as the people who witness it when you watch it, know that's the same. All right, I'm getting behind on hand raises, so let me see. The next person, Alexi, let me hear from you. Sorry for the delay, but we have some good stuff going on here.
It's okay. Actually, Shirley answered some of the questions. You have to come up with the 200 statements yourself.
Yes. And I
Okay.
have guided people, and obviously Mayumi as well, and others can help you if you get stuck on that. You're just like, oh, I can't think of anything else. What else? Then we can help you brainstorm some of the kinds of things that might fit your message that you might not have thought of.
Okay,
but yes,
and so
you
you're
are the
saying,
creator.
so you're saying you can help. So where could I go to get that help?
Are you embarking on the process of creating your own session?
Yes, I am.
Excellent. I'd be happy to talk with you.
Okay.
I'll put my my email here in the window, and we
Okay.
can set up a time. I would love to
Okay.
do that.
So is there a fee involved in this, or how does this all work?
For you to talk to me, there is no fee. For you to create the session, of course, there is a fee.
I hear you. Okay.
Yeah. But no, to talk to me, we come with a package. We want people to be happy, and you to create a session that serves yourself.
Okay. And so you have to find all the scenes and that kind of
You
thing
don't do the
yourself.
pictures, you do the statements. And then Mayumi's master team is the curator and the pulling together of the right images, and also those what we call templates, which is where your statements go on images that are all chosen by the team, unless you want to, like Shirley said, insert some of your own special images that represent your
Okay.
history or your environment or something.
Okay. All right. Well, this helps a lot. So I'll connect with you afterwards. Thank you very much.
Okay, sounds awesome.
Yeah,
I'd love to
I really want to, say that they send you a template where you describe the types of pictures, types of scenes, if you want a lot of family pictures, or if you're looking for, maybe more on the elderly side or more on the young side. If you're doing a session for youth, you might want more, youth or So you describe exactly the types of pictures, and they will go out and find those along with the other pictures of, the nature and the green and the, other, the Duchenne smiles and everything. And they find the pictures that are, I mean, you'd never be able to find them all.
No,
Yes.
they're amazing, beautiful, high quality.
Yeah.
Much
Yeah, so
variety.
how long is each session? Because I mean, I know some of them are various lengths. So what are we talking here for 200 quotes? What would the session last? Would it be like an
Well,
hour?
a normal session is 1,000. It's 800 images and 200 statements.
Okay,
And I mean, if you just play it on speed 1, it will last an hour, but you play it at different speeds. So,
right, okay.
it's just mainly the super mixes that are several sessions put together that, can go
Okay.
a lot
All right,
longer.
great. Thank you very much.
Yeah, so it's not as hard as it sounds. I think that's what Shirley is saying, and I'm also reiterating. It seems like a big task, and with the help of people, and especially the guidance that's given by Mayumi's team, it sort of steps you through it. And
Right.
once you start writing statements, they come. It's like, oh, this is part of my expression. I'm going to put that one down. And then you have some variety of things like I statements versus you statements, or inclusive, even pronouns like we. So you have some things that can be slightly similar to others, but in your brain, a different message is coming in. So you can also, put more than one pronoun next to a word that's a power word for you.
Wow, this is great. Thank you.
Yeah, good questions. Okay, I think did I have another hand up? Somebody else had something to say?
Yeah, I have a
Yes.
question.
Okay, hey, thank you. What do you have?
Hi, ladies. First of all, nice to see you again. So here's my question. I understand that we all have a personal invitation for friends to test, to try it. There's a personal link. Did I see or hear Kim talk about something else where we have up to 3 more people can experience Prime on our membership? Or was I dreaming that?
You were not dreaming that.
Edwina's
If you're
smiling,
very-
so there's got to be something to it.
If you were thinking of our friends and family,
Invite.
which is our
Yeah.
friends and family package. So if you have a membership, an annual membership or a monthly membership, you and everyone else has the privilege of inviting up to 4 people to be a part of your membership. And they get access to everything for free. And they can personalize and everything else. It could be your whole family or whatever. The only time they might decide that free isn't working for them is if they would like to receive affiliate commission by sharing it with others. And so if they want to share it with other people, then they may need to branch off and have their own membership. And if they want to join our positivity club, they need to also have their own independent membership. But otherwise, up to 4. And if some people peel off, say they have a membership with yours for free, and they want to do what I just suggested, which is to have their own independent membership, then that space is free for you to invite somebody else. So you can always have up to 4.
Okay. Oh my God, you've made my day.
Wow.
Because every
Yay.
day when I do this, multiple times a day, I think, oh, I think my children would love this. I bet you my kids would. Oh, I really would love my mother-in-law to do this. But I haven't quite gotten there yet. So my last quick question is, where do I find that on the site? Can one of you share your screen
You
so
bet.
that I do this correctly?
See if I can make that happen. I'll pull up the positive prime here. I was in the middle of watching something, so you will, I was watching something long, so that's why you'll see this. Hopefully you can see. So I was watching a session by Kim called Megamix, and I had it playing for an hour and I didn't finish it. So I didn't, we can reset it. So where you go is fairly easy. You go to your name in the top corner and you click on
Okay.
that, and then it says invites. And then the invites screen comes up. And you have 4 invitations. I could expand this a little bit here for you. Don't want to cover your faces. But then you have 4 invites. And here are some of mine that are still using. And those names, and an invite is sent. And then when they sign up, it tells you that they did accept the invitation. And then you can follow up with them or anything else that you'd like to do to help them, serve them, support them, etc.
And just to reiterate, when they sign up, they get to customize and upload their own pictures and personalize it. They're not going to see my set.
No, they won't see your set. They have a separate account. Like I said, the only thing that they can't do is share it themselves as an independent owner of the site, but they can otherwise have full unfettered access to the 120 or 30 or growing number of sessions and personalize each and every one of them. They wouldn't
is
be able to do
brilliant.
this invitation, but
fun.
yeah, but they can do a lot. They can love it.
Thank you so much. I am loving it. It's not even funny how much I love it. I can't wait. I cannot wait every day to listen. And sometimes I just need to hear the beginning of the song to have my face light up. So I just thank you to all of you. Mayumi especially, you've been great in helping me and giving me some feedback through email. So thanks again.
Yeah, we have a lot of
Yeah.
addicts on this session, huh?
Yeah, hey, I love it. Okay, so the Love to Be You is Shirley's second session, which is available to every and all people here. So if we want to play that one, Love Living by Shirley Wimberly. If you haven't seen this one, obviously since she's in the house, it's kind of fun to be shown to a new place. And I think you're obviously pretty familiar with this, but this is a wonderful session. And yes, like the people who have free access or not can personalize. So if we look at Shirley's session, it also, I'll mention a couple of other things that maybe have missed your radar along the way. So I'm usually happy. Every now and then I might be powerful or blah, but so I'm going to turn the sound down a little bit so I can talk with you. Maybe I'll mute the sound though. This is beautiful music, Shirley. When you asked earlier, like how long it takes, you can change this. So how long it's going to play, you can set your time to at any number of minutes that you want. 3 minutes may be the standard, but you could choose 5. That's also really nice, or longer. And if you don't want to pick a certain time, you can play with the speed, fast and slow. And you've probably, most of you done this already, but sometimes, you know, some of these elements get missed. So if you play it faster, you can play it slow in the beginning, and then you can speed up in the middle, and then, you know, rush to the end at speed 9 or 10. So the nice thing about these buttons compared to, say, a set time is that you can play the pace you want. And I invariably find myself going through a session at varied speeds. Almost always I change the speed as I'm watching it for whatever reason. So, and then obviously faster and slower, and you know all of that. In case you haven't seen this before, when you heart a session, then it moves into your My Sessions area. Well, it's going to drop me out, but I'll show you. Sorry, Shirley, for the moment. When you do a heart of a session, it lists you some of your favorite sessions. So you don't have to go back in and remember all the names. You can just go back to your board of favorite sessions, and then they'll be there until you change them. And if you want to then go through these individually and personalize them, that's a fairly easy thing to do also.
So
Does
when you
anybody have any
invite,
questions on that?
well, sort of related, when you invite people to watch a session that you've put together, do they have to be Prime members?
If you invite somebody to watch a session, one of your sessions, you can invite them on that same invite tab that I showed a few minutes ago. They will see everything.
Okay.
And you also, as a person with a certain session, you can have that session and our Being Happier session available to your own subscribers. If they don't subscribe later on and they're not an invited free member of yours, they will always be able to have the session that you created and Being Happier as the two until they decide in the future if they want to subscribe, if they're no longer one of your 4 invitees.
Wow.
Yeah, so that's nice. So it's another way to have your session be part of a coaching tool that you use for all of your coaches if they haven't subscribed anyway.
Wow.
Yeah, we try to make it flexible, and there's a lot of things we probably haven't thought of yet or people want, but we're working on it. All right, any questions on that, those bits?
Patty, I have one question.
Oh, go ahead.
Okay, my question is, and I'm still confused
Okay.
on the time factor. What I do when I start a session is I don't do the music because I try to hum along with too much music. So I have to just do the session without the music.
Mhm.
And I normally go 3 minutes and it just gives me what I'm looking at. And I can still sometimes say some of the words I've seen them, or I'll go 5 minutes and I'll say it as well as see it. But what I don't quite understand is the faster, slower part. 2 times 3x, I still don't understand that.
All right, well, let's make sure you understand it before you leave today. So I'm going back to my happy button, and we'll see if we can prove it. We're back to Shirley's session. I've hearted hers now. I'll silence the music. And the faster, slower allows you to choose the pace that you watch your session, and you can vary it during the course of the entire session. So a session starts on speed 1 if you don't change anything at an hour, basically 59 minutes. So you can see that there. If you watch this whole session from beginning to end at the slowest pace, where each screen is seconds long, honestly, that is pretty slow. You're obviously fully in your conscious mind at that point, and you read everything, think about things, etc. So the slower, faster is like, all right, I agree. This is a little slow for me. I really even can process my conscious mind's work happily at speed 3. So you start watching at speed 3. It's very friendly, very nice pace. It's often a speed that I start at, and we've dropped our time to 18 minutes from at speed 1, an hour. So if you have, 15 or 20 minutes, speed 3 may work. But if you hit it a little bit more, like, oh, I'm running out of time, geez, I need to go somewhere and do something, you just keep clicking on your faster button, and you can see the number keeps going up. And I tend to stop at 9. Here I'm at 5 minutes. If I go to 10, which I do occasionally, but sometimes my time gets a little off, and the blinking of it is less pleasant to me, even if it's working, quote unquote. If I back that off to 9, it's very fast, but it feels good to me. It's one that I like. So if you don't know what to pick and you click time and you say, I'm going to watch this session in 5 minutes, it presets it so that all the frames are seen by you in that 5-minute time block. It paces the whole thing for the 5 minutes that you've picked. Does that help? Hopefully that
Thank
makes
you.
sense. Yes, does that help?
Yes, it does. Thank you. Now I'll play with it and practice to see where, like you said, sometimes it's too fast for me. It's my
Yeah.
head is, and then I have to back it off. But what I've just stuck with is just 3 minutes, 5 minutes, 10 minutes. I've never really done the slower, faster within one of
You'll
those
like
time
that.
frames.
It's add some options. But remember, at these faster speeds, you need to release, or it's recommended that you release control and surrender to the experience. So when you do that at speed 9, it doesn't matter if you read them. It's going into your other than conscious regardless. So allowing the pictures just to float and flow in and through you is sort of what happens when you move to the 7, 8, 9 or the max speed. They're just so beautiful. I do love your sessions. Look at these pictures. I love your frames. Very nice. A lot of beauty.
Yeah, so beautiful.
Yes. Okay. Anybody else have any questions? Something that's burning in your mind to
Well,
share?
just one question. When you submit your 200 statements, quotes, whatever, they can just be like a written in Word document, like they don't have to be formatted or anything like that.
Well, you can just write a running list of 200 statements. You can put them in alphabetical order, or you can just create them in blocks of 10 or 20 as you think of
Wow.
them.
Wow.
You can pick around certain themes, knowing what your work is or your message to be is. And when you look at these sessions and you can see something like calm down, relax, and enjoy, the statements are very different than in, broadcasting happiness or, confidence or Shirley's even, or mine. So, if you look at a few of the sessions that sound, of interest to you, you might get some new ideas for what to put down. Not that you want to copy them, but you might get some, oh, wow, I really love that session and how they made those statements and things. Like this one
Wow.
is a good example. Small steps are also progress. It's a good message to your brain. It's not an I am or you are statement, but it's a strong and good positive message. And that's what you're also looking for.
Wow. This is amazing.
Oh, I'm glad you think so. Shirley
Oh,
and I
yeah.
were probably
This-
beaming with pride as if we do anything but show up here and say we use positive prime and we love it. And Mayumi too, who works her fingers off for all of these different elements that go into making this good. And, you know, obviously each one of you who says, I'm stepping up and I like it and I see how this can help me and that I can share it with my friends and family. That's what it's all about. It's a movement. We're moving forward with all the steps we can and all the people who say, yeah, I get it. I love it. So
Right.
thank you.
Yeah.
You're
Just
all
have to
part of our
convince-
community and our message.
Yeah, just have to convince some of them. Oh, well, another site that you got to really check this one out.
It's definitely not like any other thing.
No,
And
it's not.
sometimes people don't want to give it a chance. And then when they
Mhm.
do, sort of like you here and us, you know, we're hooked in a good way.
Wow. Okay. Wow. Thank you very much. I got to run. I got another call. Thank
Yeah,
you.
you
Thank you.
bet. This
Thank
is
you.
a 30-minute call, so we'll wrap it up here. If somebody doesn't have a question that we need to answer today, we're back every Monday with, you know, whoever happens to come and has something to share. Anybody else?
Hey, Patty, this is Mary Lee.
Mary Lee, hi. Yes.
Okay, my question is, do you have to personalize your session that you've clicked on the heart every time?
Whatever you personalize stays personalized with the images that you chose for that until you go back
Okay.
into that session and leave some behind and add some new ones. So
Oh,
once
thanks so much.
personalized, it's fixed in that way until you decide to change it.
Perfect. Thanks a lot.
Yeah, yeah, of course. All right, anybody else? Last call? All right, we'll be back next week for another episode of
Positive pride.
Yes, exactly. Prime and have fun in the meantime. Bye.